Yep, so you requested for the Porsche Macan, right? There you go. In bright red. Beautiful, beautiful color. I'm going to show you the walk around. So, instead of the base Macan, I got you the Macan S. Right? And it looks fantastic, right? Look at the rims. Look at these boys here. These 5-spoke huge rims. They look brilliant, right? And check out the back of the car. I think the Macan looks great. It just looks great. And then this one, right, kitted out like that, it looks like the Macan GTS actually. Look at the exhaust. They sound epic. They sound epic, man. And one special thing about the Macan, you're like, wow, so flush, so nice. Where do I open the boot? Is it here? No, you open it here. That's how you open the boot. And it's huge. Alright? This allows you to heighten the car or lower it down. Okay? It has air suspension, I believe so. And that's a Bose base or something like that. And this is the most unique space saver tire I've ever seen. I don't think you need to pump any air. That's my guess. Oh, you have to. I've never seen a space saver like this. They're damn unique, man. Looks expensive. Looks expensive. Alright. Oops. Yep. That's the boot. It's large enough, but the weird thing is that it doesn't have a tonneau cover. You know, the pulling type is like a board. Maybe it's because this side is really narrow, but perhaps they can launch a new one where they have the short tonneau cover thingy like the one with the Civic. But anyway, I think that's because of how it's shaped. Alright. So close it. Of course it has power boot, right? It's an expensive car. Let's go to the interior. Is it spacious? This is a Porsche interior. That's how well built Porsche interiors are. Every single surface, every single button, every single panel, everything is absolutely precise and super duper well fitted. Okay. I'm gonna turn it around. Hello. Headroom. A little bit. That's mainly because this part. But this part I have a lot. It's because this one that comes with a panoramic roof. So the whole thing has dropped slightly, but because I can sit rather comfortably, I don't mind. I mean, any space that your head isn't touching is not used, right? But as long as you have like a 2-finger space, I think that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's my driving position in front. I am 5'11". I have about quite a little bit of space for my knee room, and I can slot my feet underneath. Alright? One not so good thing is the humongous, absolutely huge center tunnel. This is like almost 1 foot in height. That's that's massive. This is just pure massive. And then these two little USB ports here. Let me show you. Turn you around, turn around. Yep. Look at the 2 USB ports there. That looks quite afterthought, right? Yeah. And then here you get 3-zone climate, and then so you can adjust the temperature here. Yeah, that's about it. The B pillars doesn't jut out. That's one unique thing that I noticed. Most cars, right, you're flush here, and then this thing sort of juts out. But this guy is like flat all the way. So there's a lot of aircon. I think from the aircon vent, air actually passed through here rather well. And it's comfortable at the back here. And then especially when you look at the center seat. Yes, I know the center tunnel is huge, but this part doesn't bulge up that much, so it's still comfy. Okay? This is not very Porsche, right? I don't expect this from Porsche, honestly speaking. Really, just 2 holes there. There's no cover, nothing pops out, you know. Just one piece of cushion with 2 holes here. That's not very Porsche. At least it's 3-way split. It has a 3-way split, so it's 40-20-40, alright? Splitting, so that when you need to carry long items, you can drop this and you can still fit 2 person. This is very crucial for Europeans, you know, when the family goes skiing. So they can carry their skis, and then the two kids can still sit behind, and the parents up front. So yeah, that's how it is. Is it a comfortable rear cabin? Of course, it's not a Cayenne. You want a Cayenne, you go for a Cayenne, right? But you want a sports SUV that is moderately practical, whereas you can fit a perfect family. I mean, if I can afford this, I would have been very happy with this. I don't need more space. But of course, if you were to put a child seat in the middle, I like those with loose strap ISOFIX, not the stiff ones. So I can strap here and put a seat in the middle. You have not a lot of shoulder room, I would say. Not a lot of shoulder room will be left. See this, I am a 97, oh no, I slimmed down, 94 now. I'm a 94 kg Asian gorilla, so I'm not as huge as white gorillas. You white fellas, you guys are not as huge as the black gorillas, right? Oh, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, so blinds, you have your own vanity lights. Not much going on behind here. Yeah, some carbon fiber trimmings. These are real stuffs, mind you, but I just learned this term from Motor Trend. I love these two guys, you know, Johnny Lieberman and Jason Camisa. Carbon fiber is still plastic. It's baked plastic. Yeah, that was funny as hell. Okay, so yeah, carbon bits and really nice metal, aluminium seals that they fill up here, and then this is metal. This entire thing is metal. It's not plastic chrome with setting chrome, blah 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 blah. You know, Bose sound system, very solid, very comfortable. The seating position is a bit upright. That I have to say, it is slightly upright. So I would prefer it to be a little bit more slanted, but I don't think there's no room for me to lie down. So if I sit, this is like the Audi A4 dilemma, exactly the same as the Audi A4. I have to sit like this, like a German, in a German car, in a German manner, in a German boardroom, like a German in a German boardroom. Yep. That's how. Only then I can be slightly moderately comfortable. I can't be Malaysian a bit, so then yeah, I can't slouch in these seats. You can't slouch in these seats. They are rather upright. So that's the takeaway of the rear seats. Is this limited by the interior room? Not exactly. This is pretty much something to do with packaging. All right. If they give up about 1.5 inch of where the tonneau cover starts, then these seat backs will be a lot more comfortable. All right. Let's go to the front. This car is nicely spec'd up. A lot of stuffs you see here don't come as standard, alright? So, you know, very large door bins. The type where I think is perfectly designed. This is the type of door cards that I like. And all these are lined in leather, but this color, yeah. Alright, I like these Virtu-like buttons, you know. I'm gonna miss them because in the new Panamera, I like all these. Yes, you will get overwhelmed by it when you first hop up the car, but after you've used it for a week or so, you know everything where they are. It's super friendly. You just press. It's super user friendly. You just press what you need. You just press them. That's how it is. This is a very small ashtray. Okay. 2 cup holders up front. This one, USB port, 12 volt socket, auxiliary. very small center console. And the thing is, right, even though this slides, it's not like Audi's. You know, Audi owners will know this. Their armrest holder doubles as an this cover doubles as an armrest. And if on an Audi, right, if you put it up like that, it's gonna hold it there. But this one is not. There's only one level, open or close. Audi's, right, you can like tuck, and then you hold it, tuck, and then one more time you can go down. So Audi's ones are better. They are adjustable in terms of the angle, so that you can rest your arm like that. Up to you. I don't know why Porsche didn't copy it. Porsche should copy it. If it's something good, you copy, right? So even though this is slidable, because it's not height adjustable and getting fixed there, right? You can't put anything here and then slide it, because the moment you slide it, you're gonna end up like that. So you have a little bit room to put a pencil. Yep. So yeah, this is the limitation they set forth. I would prefer if this is just a square box and then with a few bits and pieces jutting out. Oh, the mechanism in the Tiguan. If they have this as a square box, right, and they apply that mechanism in the Tiguan, right, perfect. Tiguan reinvented. Wait, let me turn you around. The Tiguan cup holders should win an award. The Tiguan cup holder, I kid you not, that is like the world's best cup holder ever in the new Tiguan. It's amazing. They should win some award for it. The guy who invented that, right, is a freaking genius. Freaking genius. Go and check it out. The Tiguan cup holders, they are out of this world. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna calm myself down. All right. Let me turn you around again. Usual Porsche clusters, alright, the revo counter is in the middle, speedo counter here, this is dynamic, this is high resolution, and then you can change between things, and it's super duper user friendly, alright, there's your phone, your music, you know, your GPS, yep, and Mazda has applied this to their cars. Mazdas are like this now, yeah, very clever system. This is the new Porsche communication management something, all right. So yeah, that's their new system. And yes, I know, yes, I could have designed these icons using MS Paint in half a day. Yep, seriously, it's dead simple to use. This is proper Porsche graphic. This is proper Porsche graphic. It should be like this, right? Look at that. Ooh, super cool. Look at that. Look at that. How do I show the map? Okay, there you go. Yeah. So lah, huh? Tuner? Oh. I don't think this graphic is good enough. Porsche can learn from Audi or BMW or Mercedes. They have really nice graphics. Okay, so yeah, but it's super user friendly, super duper user friendly. Everything is just here and it's touchscreen. All right, it has buttons too. This part is for CD, SD card 1, 2, but I just felt this thing looks like an afterthought. You know, it just doesn't seem cohesive. So the whole car in terms of design, right, this part really doesn't look cohesive. It's as if they purposely do it so that it doesn't look as cool as the one in the Cayenne, and yeah, they live with it. But I love the materials, I love the interior cabin. This part I don't like. This is nice. This black color plastic feels damn cheap. This plastic feels very cheap. It's not a high quality plastic. These are cheap plastics. I have no idea why they use this. They could have used this material. This one is way nicer than this one. This one feels hollow and all that. The pedal shifters are really nice. Gone are the days where Porsche you push the button and all that. So yeah, the car is nicely appointed. Ah, see, that's a proper premium car's glove box, right? Covered in felt. That feels so good, so good, so good. Yep. The seats are huge. It doesn't look as nice as those in the AMGs, but it's all perforated, so it feels damn good. And you have air-conditioned seats. See that? You hear that? Ooh, so nice. Cold air coming out. Lovely for Malaysia especially. Okay, I'm gonna on it for myself. Alright. So yeah, it's a comfortable car, especially if you're the driver. Visibility is excellent. Everything is nicely within dimension. The car drives well. It's fast. Again, to me, I want more horsepower bragging rights, you know. Oh, you just bought a GLC 43. Nice. How many horsepower? 350? Oh, that's my base Macan with 450. That would sound so much cooler, right? If you're a Porsche owner. Yeah. So the Macan is good, but and then the price differences between the Macan and the Macan S is huge. So I would recommend buying the Macan actually. 252 horsepower is enough. Of course this one has 350, but not enough. If this one has about 450 and the base Macan has 350 or 400, 350 lah, huh? That would be cool. That would be cool. Yep. And of course the Panamera should start with 400 horsepower. It should start with 400. Yep. Alright, that's my review of this car. Hope you like it. Please subscribe. Please. Please. Okay. I know you're gonna hate me for that. Yep, that's the Macan S, 3 liter, V6, turbocharged, and quite fast. Amongst its class, very fast. Cheers. This is the usual road that I always come. Oh my god. Stop. Yeah, that's what happens when you throw a Macan into a corner, because it's a family car. You'll be putting a lot of stuff into your car and then they'll be sliding around when you are hooning. So is it fast? Of course it's fast, but I don't know, man. This Macan S, right, this 3 liter engine just doesn't feel as sprightly as the 2.9 that they have started using. And this car, if I were to pitch it directly against the GLC 43 AMG, that car sounds better. That car sounds better. This one sounds... I'm not sure, man. Yeah, of course it's a Macan, it's a sports car, you know, it's very... For a sports SUV like this, of course it handles, you know, it can throw it into a corner and all that, but I just felt that if it's a Macan S with 3... Let's put it this way, if Mercedes tuned a 3 liter turbocharged engine to 350 horsepower, why is Porsche tuning a 3 liter turbocharged V6 engine to 350 horsepower as well? You are Porsche. You should be pushing it to the limits, 420 or 440, right? You look at it's the same thing as the AMG 45. 2 liter, they push 381 horsepower out of it. Why isn't Porsche doing the same thing? That's my question. And for the Macan Turbo to use the 3.6 engine, that 3.6 is an engine from Jurassic period, where when it comes to engines, you know, that engine existed since, I don't know, the previous century. 3.6 V6 that's been in all the Audis, the Touaregs, you know, the old ones. They just take the engine and then turbocharge it, and the engine doesn't feel as punchy as it's supposed to be. But the new 2.9, which currently hasn't been adapted to the Macan yet, but is in the Panamera 4S, that's a fantastic engine. 2.9 twin turbo engine. That engine feels very lively, unlike this one. This one is applied in the Audi S4 as well. Yes, I know Audi pushed 354 horsepower out of it, but again, you just don't feel it's enough. See, I have the old Audi S4, a 3 liter V6 supercharged. The single chip, a single stage 1 tuning is already making 420 horsepower, 520 Newton meters of torque. So for Mercedes and Audi to tune a 3 liter engine to produce that kind of output is acceptable, but I just kind of felt that if it's Porsche, you should be making anywhere 50-60 horsepower more than your German counterparts that sits one rung below when it comes to the brand hierarchy. So I like it, but I don't like it as much as the 2-liter Macan, the base Macan. The 2-liter Macan actually surprises me because, yeah, it's only 252 horsepower, but that engine, I want to believe it's the same 2-liter engine as the Audi Q4, but I don't know why in the Macan, right, the whole car just feels lighter. It feels every bit as fast as this. Of course, beyond 150, to continue push the car, maybe that one will run out of breath. But I just felt, if you're buying the Macan, buy the Macan, not the S, not the turbo. I mean, if it's a Cayenne, definitely go for the turbo, man. That engine is bonkers, 4.8 turbo. That's a proper Porsche engine, you know, with 500 horsepower and all that. But the Macan, I just kind of felt that they should push more solely because you guys are Porsche, they are Porsche. Porsche should be doing a 2-liter engine with 380 horsepower and not Mercedes. But Mercedes is doing it and not Porsche. That's the thing. Yeah. Do I like the car? I like, but the competition is quite good now. Yep. You know what I'm thinking? Yes, I know the brand, I mean, in consumer perception, there's the brand hierarchy level, right? We have the BMWs, the Mercedes, the Audis, and then you have Porsche, which is slightly higher. But amongst the German trio, right, you look at Mercedes, they can manufacture a car that goes straight ahead against Rolls-Royce. They can have a S-Class, the S63 Coupe, that goes straight ahead against the Bentleys. So in terms of brand cachet, that Mercedes actually has a wider breadth for them to exploit. And it's quite amazing because they've done it for so long, right? As consumers, right, we accept a Mercedes van, a Mercedes truck, a Mercedes bus, a Mercedes compact car, a Mercedes S-Class Maybach, a Mercedes S63 Coupe, or a Mercedes C63 AMG, or an AMG GT, SLS AMG. It's quite amazing that the brand, the breadth of the brand that it can hold itself against. So on that note, right, just now I was thinking on the GLC 43 that I drove in Sepang the other day. That car sounds epic. I think that car sounds better than this one. Okay, of course now you have all the trickeries going on in the cars, right? We're not even sure whether they are generated by the speakers or some unique butterfly flaps at the back and all that. But the thing is this, that day when if I were to judge the car objectively speaking, right, the GLC is a larger car than this, first thing. Of course, Porsche has a higher brand positioning in Malaysian consumer mindset, right? And then in terms of the drive, the GLC 43, which I drove at Sepang the other day, to me, right, I think I mentioned it in the video as well. That car matches up to a Macan in handling capabilities. So it's just as sporty to drive. And I remember I was blundering down the curves, chasing a SLC 43. That's quite amazing, to have an SUV chasing a sports car, a roadster in front of you. The last time I did that, I was in a CX-5 in Japan, chasing an MX-5 on the track. So to drive such a big car with a tall ride height, with a vantage point that is from high up and see further ahead, and then to corner with a car, it feels amazing. So as I was driving this, right, I'm like, yeah, the Macan is very capable. It's a sports car. It handles really well. And the GLC 43 really matches this, you know. And then you look at pricing, right? Of course, this one is Porsche. It commands a premium. It is a Porsche nonetheless, right? But still, that is a very close output when it comes to how much you pay, what you get. Interesting. That's a very interesting argument point. So, would you? I mean, I know most people will, of course we go for the Macan, of course. But the real buyers, right, they will not just judge on brand alone, you know. They look at the interiors, they look at the space that you get. This car is actually more compact than the Q5. Yes, it's based on the Q5. Of course, Porsche did a lot of work onto the chassis, the suspension and all that. But at the end of the day, right, when you're not going fast, the GLC is more comfortable, okay? And to take a car like the Macan or the GLC 43 for that matter on Sepang, it's actually just to showcase its capability to put your brain into a mode of emotional pull that you want this car because you know it can do it. However, when it comes to day-to-day usage of really owning the car day-to-day, you won't, right? It is still an everyday car that you drive, and on that, I'm really not sure if this car is an outright win against the GLC 43. I mean, I didn't mention any Q5 or any X3 because they just don't have a variant that is producing this kind of horsepower output. They just do not have it, right? This is sort of par with the GLC 3-liter V6 turbocharged, and they are about 350 horsepower. So, and then they are both, you know, the sporty variants, basically the SQ5 that is sold. Yes, in certain sense, this car is tauter. The car feels more inclined to the sporting performance drive and all that. But I will be lying if I say that I can't feel the weight at all. That I will be lying, right? Because it is still a big car. It is still a big and heavy car compared to the likes of a C-Class or 3 Series or A4 or A5 wagon or anything like that. It is still a big car. Interesting. I can't decide which one is outright better, actually. Yeah. Oops, I got a phone call. Hold on a minute. Now, do you know what the Macan actually represents? Come to think of it. Yes, motoring journalists has always said that, oh, SUVs are pointless, blah blah, but since my really old article saying that SUVs are the future, the Macan serves to solidify this claim. Because, think of it this way, right? To me, right, cars like this will be the default car in years to come. No, these are the default cars, right? The 3-box sedans. Why cars are sedans? Because of Mercedes-Benz back then, alright? Because back in the early days, to prove that your car maker is worth your salt, you have to go racing. And when you go racing, you need a lower center of gravity to outmaneuver your competition. That's the reason the Mercedes 35 existed. And that serves as the basic architecture of modern cars. A box in front, passengers in the middle, and then a box behind. Those two boxes house your components. Either your engine is behind or the front, and then is your wheel arches, okay? So that serves as the basis for all modern cars, the Mercedes 35, okay? And that's what has been instilled in our minds, that a car means something like that. A Honda City, a Honda Civic, a 3 Series, a 5 Series, you know, the sedans, the even hatchbacks, you know. But now, of course, we have SUVs, okay? And SUVs has always had an inherent disadvantage because of the height. And because of their height, because of the higher center of gravity, they don't handle as well. But when you take this away from the equation, when SUVs no longer handle badly, then there's no reason for sedans to exist anymore, because SUVs can go any form of terrain. Their control arms, the suspensions are hardier, they don't get trouble from a pothole, from a speed bump, you won't scrape your undercarriage, you can drive off to the mild off-roads or slightly, I don't know, if you have four-wheel drive, you can go to the beach and all that, very light river wading and all that. SUVs, because of the right height, allows you to do more. And when that's a classic SUV, an FJ Cruiser, but it can't handle a corner, right? It will topple. But when all SUVs can handle like this guy here, the Macan, which we are beginning to see in a lot of even cheaper cars that doesn't require or couldn't afford expensive suspension componentry. Cars like the CX-5, look at it. The CX-5 handles, it has the right height, but it can out-handle this Accord in front of me. Or that Volvo, that old S80 Volvo. You see? That car is not expensive. The CX-5 is not as expensive as a Macan, but it handles well. It is able to out-handle these lower slung sedans. So, when this is the norm, when this has become the norm, right? Then you look at the advantages of an SUV, because they no longer have the disadvantage of being really wallowy when you drive. Then they have more room from floor to ceiling within the cabin. You can hold more things, and to me, there's a reason why crossovers and SUVs are popular, because they are practical for the buyer, they are profitable for the seller. And now that we no longer have the issue of SUVs that handle like this Fortuner, this is the old Fortuner. Yeah, Fortuner is a good example. This old Fortuner, I'll show you. This is the old Fortuner, right? It handles like a boat. But the new Fortuner, it handles like a proper car. It can corner, you can throw it into a corner and all that. So when this happens, these guys, the Macan, that car, all this will be the default car as we know it, and not these guys. Because how do I switch it off? How do I switch it off? No. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Alright? Yeah. That's all I want to say. Later. You know what makes a Porsche special is that the weighting of the steering is so perfect. The accuracy of the steering, when you corner, when you throw the car into a corner, there are no doubts. You wouldn't even have any form of worry or that kind of yearning to have a little bit more communication or whatever. No, nothing, none of that. It's just perfect. How the car responds to your inputs, how the car reacts after that. All of these, they've done a perfect job on this car. I mean, I think that's what makes a Porsche, right? I don't know why I keep contradicting myself in this review. On one hand, I kind of felt that, hey, I want them to have more horsepower. On the other hand, I just kind of felt that they've done a damn good job as well on this car. So yeah, I keep contradicting myself. Oh, that is a weird Polo. Wow! So this guy, wow, this Polo looks like an R. Looks like an R version. It's very hard to go out. I'll just U-turn from here. Can this car pull away in a mad manner? I think you've seen that. It's fast. Very fast. There's no reason to doubt why so many bought the Macan. There's no reason to doubt it. This car really is enjoyable to drive. It is enjoyable to drive. Just make no mistakes. This car is fast. It handles brilliantly, and it's just an all-rounder. It's an all-rounder, and of course you pay premium for the badge. Will I have this car for everyday drive? Hell yes, man. I would love to drive this every single day. See speed bumps? What speed bumps? I don't see them. I can switch off all this and then the car will be supple, planted and comfortable. Yeah. Well done, Porsche. Well done. It's damn comfortable actually. The suspension is damn comfortable. If you want it to be. If you want it to be savage, it can be savage. Yeah. That's what this car is. Brilliant, brilliant. Well done, well done. This is my spot. Yup. Cheers.